hugpong ng pagbabago. The party confirmed her resignation but did not specify the reason.
Following Sara's withdrawal of her re-election bid, speculations have spread about her likely plan to run at the national level.
Itong nangyari kahapon, marami pang katanungan na create instead ng mga answers. So sa panig naman ho ng mga kasagutan, at least somehow na-confirm natin na tatakbo sa isang national position si Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte.
The party of Bongbong Marcos, Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, say they're open for a possible BBM Sara tandem.
Opisyal nang nanumpa si Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte bilang bagong miyembro ng Lakas CMD.
Salamat ako sa mga supporters ko and I hope na kung ano mga mangyari sa mga sumusunod na mga araw ay maibigay ko sa kanila kung ano yung gusto.
Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte has joined the Lakas CMD in what appears to be a move to prepare a candidacy for a national post. What's next in the rapid unfolding of political alliances? We discuss in this episode of The Chiefs. And welcome to this Thursday edition of The Chiefs. I'm Ed Lingao. Also joining us, Ana Marie Pamintuan of the Philippine Star from the port area in Manila, and Lucy Cruz Valdez, the head of News 5. Ladies, magandang nakakahilong gabi.
Good evening.
Ami, your audio's a bit bad.
Mabuti na lang sa rating na ako umili ko, hindi na yung gabi, naghihintay pa tayo, baka naman.
Oo nga. Kawawa naman yung dyaryo, di ba? Umuurong yung deadline. Of course, we are talking about today's development, yung swearing in. Well,
The whirlwind development.
Let's do it consecutively. Iuna yung pagbitiw ni Sara Duterte sa kanyang hugpong ng pagbabago, the regional party that was based in Davao, and then yung kanyang pag-swear in as a new member of the Lakas CMD, all in one day.
Kasalan sa Cavite, kung saan co-sponsor niya si Bongbong Marcos.
Oo, at kasama si Bato de la Rosa, nandun din.
Lahat sila,
parang lahat ng pwedeng nandun na tatakbo.
Which made our job easier, actually.
Well, that's also true. But squeezing blood out of stone
And then,
is still
you
difficult
forgot
anyway.
that Manny Pacquiao and, nandun pa rin yun, di ba?
The meeting the meeting the other night.
PDP laban, the two factions. So, ang
Okay.
dami nangyayari. No?
Dami nangyayari. Pero makibalita muna tayo dun sa sa partido kung saan nagmula ang lahat. We begin tonight with the hugpong ng pagbabago Secretary General Governor Anthony Del Rosario. Magandang gabi, Governor Del Rosario, and welcome back.
Thank you,
Governor.
Good evening to all of you. It's nice seeing you again.
Yes, Gov. It's also nice seeing you. Gov, well, we talked about this briefly a while ago in the previous program, The Chiefs. The big story. Pero yun nga, ang tanong ng maraming tao, and I suppose ang tanong pa rin nila, posible bang hindi alam ng hugpong na mangyayari ito, yung kanyang pagbitiw kaninang umaga?
Posible talaga yan, sir. When you have Mayor Sara, when you're working with Mayor Sara, sometimes there are things that she does without you knowing, no? Ganun talaga siya, no? She keeps a lot of, especially when it comes to this particular aspect of filing, no? For via the substitution method. Talagang she keeps the information very close to her heart, no? Not a lot of people know what's going on. Even kami po, yung inner circle niya po sa HLP, talagang nagugulat kami kuminsan. Do you know, even on November 9, when she decided to withdraw her COC for mayor, we had no idea also that she was going to do that.
Yeah, my question na to you
we just found out, and then we just found out that Paste was going to, Vice Mayor Paste, was going to take his oath as HNP to substitute for Mayor Sara. No? Again, this all happened in a span of about 2 or 3 hours, no? And we were all surprised that that was happening. Kasi
Ay, ayun. That was what I was going to ask you. How do you really feel about this? Is this something that you view as positive, negative? Are you disappointed in her? You know,
Well,
what
you know,
are your sentiments at this point that you were left in the dark, kumbaga?
Yeah, but you know, this is politics, no? I'm a politician. I've been doing this since 2002, so I've had some experience at it. And sometimes in politics, you just have to, you know, keep some secrets, di ba? Para you don't project what you plan to do in the future to keep everybody guessing. That's part of the political strategy, you know. And so, to me, it's nothing unusual. It's nothing surprising. Now, with regards to how I personally feel with regards to her resignation, of course, malungkot po ako, no? And I've spoken to the other officers of HNP, and they're also equally sad that Sarah had to leave. But again, we understand, despite the fact that we have not spoken to her yet, we have talked among ourselves, and we believe that there is a reason why she did this, and there's also a reason why she did it suddenly, without informing us beforehand, no? And whatever her reasons are, we support it, and we're behind her 100%. And there's no thinking twice about this. Kaming lahat po, we really are hoping and praying that she will run for a higher position because it's her time to do so. We've seen her capacity and her sincerity as a leader within the organization. And we know that she'll be successful in whichever position she runs for, whether it's president or vice president.
Okay, but what will happen to Hugpong now? Ay yun ang tanong ng marami, no? Ano mangyayari sa
Hugpong ng Pagbabago will remain to be a regional party. We have candidates running from governor, congressman, mayor, down to the last councilors in every municipality and every province and city within Davao region. No? So, if I'm not mistaken, we have the most number of candidates among all the parties, including national parties, within Davao region. And we believe, although again, this is still something that we have to confirm with Mayor Sara because we have not spoken to her yet. We hope to do that in the next few days. But I believe that if Sara runs for a higher position, whether president or vice president, I think she will obviously have to campaign in Mindanao and, of course, also in Davao region. So we expect that when that happens, she will still be supporting the HNP candidates within the region. And vice versa, kami po din sa HNP, obviously our candidate.
You will support her.
So is Sara, whether it is president or vice president. It doesn't really matter to us, but the point is she is our candidate. So she will also get the same support that she would have gotten otherwise if she was still a member of HNP.
She's not a member, she was the leader.
She was the founder.
Of the group. She was
Well,
the
yeah.
Kaya
True. I stand corrected, ma'am. I stand corrected.
tinatanong ngayon kung if the party can survive without her. At saka, or are you planning alliances, for example, with Lakas CMD, or will you be absorbed, for example, by PDP Laban, for example, one of the two factions?
Yes, ma'am. I think, in every election, it's only normal, especially a presidential election, it's only normal that national parties would align with local parties in order to get the support, no, for their presidential candidate. So kami din po, we're expecting na ganun din. Ano? But of course, I mean, it goes without saying that if Sara is really going to run under Lakas, kasi she already joined apparently Lakas, and she's going to run whether president or vice president, I suspect it goes without saying that we will have an alliance between HNP and Lakas in order for HNP to support Mayor Sara and the Lakas candidates in Davao region. Sa Davao region po, walang Lakas candidates tumatakbo doon. It's mostly HNP, may Reforma, may PDP, pero walang Lakas po, no? So wala pong conflict sa HNP if HNP has an alliance with Lakas kasi wala pong Lakas na tumatakbo kalaban ng HNP.
Well, sir, we do understand what you're saying as far as Sara is concerned, decision niya yan, so pagbigyan na natin. But at the same time, sir, that decision is not exactly a purely personal decision. That, of course, affects and affected the party, the very party that she founded, the very party that she stood on and backed her up, and so on down the line. But now it appears na the party was not consulted, at least as far as you can tell. It was not consulted. It has still not been consulted. You have not even been officially informed a full day after the decision was made public, which, of course, does raise quite a lot of eyebrows and questions.
Well, for people outside the party, they might raise some eyebrows. Pero kami po sa HNP, hindi po kami ganun eh. Mahal na mahal po namin si Mayor Sara. No? She's our leader, as mentioned by Ma'am Pamintuan. She is our leader. She is also a founding member of the party together with the other 4 governors, including myself. And we respect her as she respects us. With regards, as I said, with regards to her not notifying us beforehand, that's something that she had to do on her own for whatever reason, no? And we will not anymore question that because this is politics.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, yeah, sir.
Sometimes in politics, even if you have a close circle of people that you trust, alam mo naman sometimes, di ba, pag sinabi mo, ganitong gawin natin, meron talaga magli-leak dyan eh. Di ba?
Well, tama yan, sir. We agree with that.
Siguro, we just wanted to make sure na nothing would leak, di ba? Mahirap naman yun kung may pinaplano siya tapos ma-project ng mga kalaban kung anong plano niya.
Tama naman, sir.
Okay,
Pero sir, kaninang umaga pa
okay.
sir to. Kaninang umaga pa to, gabi na, hindi pa rin kayo nasasabihan officially.
Hindi, kasi actually, sir, we've decided not to call her yet kasi, it's been a long day for Mayor Sara. When I first saw the letter at 9:30, 9:40, I called actually, but it turned out she was already in the plane to Balisin. So I did not want naman to bother her during her lunch celebration hosted by Speaker Lord, di ba? And then, of course, after that, she went to Cavite. Alangan naman, disturbuhin ko pa siya doon sa wedding nung anak ni Senator Bong Revilla. So, napag-usapan pa namin ng mga governors, papayaan na muna natin si ma'am. Let her go through the day. It's a hectic day. It's a full day. And let her just go through it. And then, whatever she does, wala na tayong magawa. Yan ang decision niya. And then hopefully tomorrow or the day after, we will sit down and see how we're going to move forward with insofar as HLP is concerned.
Okay, Governor, pwede bang balikan po natin ang mga, dahilan kung bakit kaya ngayon niya naisipan na tumakbo at hindi noon nung lahat ng mga nasa paligid niya, nangunguna ng mga taga-hukpong, ay talagang, they were practically begging her to run, no? And everybody was expecting her to run. And in fact, when she did not file, meron pang statement na hindi naman niya style yung substitution na yan. So, lahat parang sinasabi na nga, naku, mukhang malabo na kasi hindi raw niya style. So, gusto ko lang balikan, what held her back then? Or was this part of a strategy from the very beginning?
It really isn't part of any strategy. This is the reality of it. I remember June when Mayor Sara went to Cebu to visit Governor Gwen Garcia. She publicly said that she was open to the possibility of running for mayor, for president, di ba? And at that point in time, kami po sa HNP, we were really expecting that she would do it. No, pero certain things happened which I don't think I can discuss with you at this time. I think it's better siguro if si Mayor Sara mismo
Sir,
mag-explain.
tayo lang naman, sir.
Sige na, sir, kahit hint lang, clue.
Total sir, nailabas na yung baraha eh.
Hindi, binuksan ko na ng konti yung baraha pero hindi ko pa binibigay eh. It's I think it might be above my pay grade kasi, di ba? I don't like to...
No, sir, you're the Secretary General, sir.
The point is, there were certain things that happened between siguro mga around September from early to late September where hindi nagkasundo-sundo and she decided
Sino,
forget
sir?
it. Ay, basta.
Sir, ganito, sir.
Basta, may
Sino ang
nangyari
mga
ko,
hindi
di ba? Hindi nagkasunduan.
Sir, kindat na lang, sir. Kung, Sir,
we
does it have to
will
do with the family?
lead.
Does it have to do with the first family?
No, kagabi.
Oh gosh.
We talked to Albay.
Basta yun. And then, as a result of that, she decided, forget it. No way, I'm not gonna do this anymore, forget it. So, okay, fine, ma'am. That's your
Okay, so we know about how she felt about President Duterte running for the vice presidency. We know about that. My
change topic na tayo, ma'am. Change topic.
We also know about her feelings about Laban,
Okay, go.
PDP Laban, and the pressure allegedly put by the president for her to
Yes.
endorse Senator Bongo or adopt Senator Bongo as vice
Exactly.
president. I mean, she's made that
so
public
we
before.
also know. Yes.
Okay, I will go back. I just remembered. I will go back to a statement made by Sarah. I cannot remember when it was. It was sometime July ba or August, where remember when she said that she had an unpleasant experience.
Sir, August
So,
25.
her mother-
August 25.
Laban yun.
I think that alone is already. I don't want to add to that anymore. But that incident wherein she said that she was given two choices.
Yes, sir.
She did not want any of
Yes.
those choices.
Yes, sir.
I think that weighed heavily on her, and as a result of that, other factors came in. But basically, going back pa rin doon sa statement na yun, ano.
Yes, sir. That was a
So-
statement on August 25 when she was referring to the pressure on her
Trying
by
to
the
figure
president.
out how to
Yes.
say it politely or anyway. But the point is, that's what happened. No, she did not want the terms that were given to her by her father.
But sir, have the terms changed since then? Kasi now apparently she's on the roll.
Yes.
I really don't know if the terms have changed. But what I can tell you is, on the day that she withdrew her COC for mayor, which was November 9, we were all surprised also because we thought tapos na. Ilang beses na kami nag-usap niya ni Mayor, sabi ni Mayor sa akin, tumigil na kayo, tama na. I'm done. I'm already comfortable. I've already decided. I'm seeking my third term. So that's why when she withdrew her COC, she did not also tell us. So it's nothing surprising to us, no? But of course, siyempre, nagulat kami, but we know that she knows what she's doing. So we just have to trust that she knows what she's doing, di ba? Kasi siya nakakaalam yan eh. These are factors that she's the only one who can fix that eh. There's nothing that any of us can do in HNP as far as those factors are concerned, no?
Pero-
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think it helped na she was offered another party, another national party apart from PDP Laban? Kasi yun yung ini-indicate sa amin ni Albay Representative Salceda na lakas CMD, wala daw problema sa RIF, there's no legal challenge, sa legitimacy. Kaya okay na sa kanya, saka hindi siya naiinis sa lakas CMD siguro. You think that was a factor in changing her mind?
I think Lakas was the most likely choice because Lakas, I believe, is the only party today that has a presidential and vice presidential candidate filed as of October 8, which means she has the option, may flexibility. She has the option to go for president because she hasn't decided yet whether she's running for president or vice president, no? So I think kasi ang PDP, for example, hindi naman bakante yung dalawang position. And I think it's only Lakas yata where you have a president and a vice president placeholder. Let's just say it the way it is. Placeholder na pwede niyang
Sir, PDP Laban.
pag-desisyonan later on which one she wants to run, di ba? So I think that's probably one of the reasons why. Plus the fact that of course nandyan po yung mga kaibigan natin, ano? Nandyan po si former President GMA, nandyan po si Senator Bong Revilla, nandun si Majority Floor Leader Martin Romualdez, those are all friends of HNP and good friends of Mayor Sara.
Kailangan
So,
ba yung
feel
HNP?
comfortable.
Full support ba, of course, kay Mayor Sara ang HNP, or pwede naman kayong magsuporta, for example, ng siguro PDP laban candidate kung magkaka-unite or kung magkakatuluyan ng presidential candidate nila?
Well, it really depends. Again, we have to sit down with Mayor Sara, di ba? Kasi, as I said earlier, it's also possible that HNP could have an alliance with Lakas. Now, if that happens, then surely we have no choice but to support the entire slate of Lakas. No? And I suspect baka ganun po ang sasabihin ni Mayor Sara, especially if she decides to run for president. Siyempre, magdadala siya ng vice president, kung sino man yun. Baka nga wala pa siyang vice president, pero definitely may senator siya.
Yun nga tatanong ko sa inyo, sino ang kasi nakita rin natin sila Bongbong na dumalaw sa kanya, nakita natin si Gibo dumalaw sa kanya, ang daming talagang gustong maging VP niya noon, no? Sino sa tingin ninyo kung siyang mamimili? And that's, I think, according to Congressman Salceda, this is one of her conditions, no, for running, that she gets to choose who her vice presidential candidate is. Sa palagay ninyo, sir, sino yung pipiliin niya? And is it possible na, kasi kaya naman niyang mag-persuade ng kung sino man yan, sa tingin niyo, sino?
Pero ma'am, kasi you're assuming she's running for president, di ba?
Well, because that's what we're getting from Congressman Salceda, no?
Yeah.
And yeah, and
Sir, it's a week of
the fact
assumptions
that-
coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's true. That's what Congressman Joey said. No, but the truth of the matter is, Mayor Sara has not decided whether she's running for president or vice president. So the options are still open, no, for both. Again,
Okay, so if she runs for
if you were
president,
to ask me, logically, considering that she's with Lakas now, she already
Yes,
with Lakas. So considering she's with Lakas and Majority Floor Leader Martin Romualdez is the president of Lakas, siyempre alam naman natin pinsan niya si Senator Bongbong Marcos. I would suspect that Lakas would prefer that Bongbong and Sara are running together. Now, with regards to which position is which, that's still up in the air, di ba? And plus, I really don't know, kasi again, hindi naman din kami privy doon sa mga usapan nila sa Lakas. So, but I know that somebody told me that there are discussions, they have been talking, but again, I really don't know what is the context of which they are talking. No? So I really don't know who's running for which position, but definitely they're in communication.
So buhay pa rin pala yung possibility na
oo, Duterte Marcos or Marcos Duterte.
Yes, it's really, gosh, I really don't know when this is going to, baka nga we might see this until November 15 pa di ba? I really don't know.
lapit na yon. Kasi nagsalita rin si Bongbong Marcos kanina, sabi niya, I'm not in the substitution game. Sabi niya,
Yes.
I have no other place to go.
Yeah.
Tinanong siya,
But then that was also said of Sara Duterte only a month ago or so, no? So
But-
now at this point, wala talaga tayong
But we
maaasahan.
have to also realize that
Final answer.
given the period that we are in right now, ilang araw na lang po, there's only 4 more days before it's November 15, you have to also consider the possibility that Sara might just run on her own without any partner. No? She could run as a Lakas president at wala siyang vice president, or she could even run as a Lakas vice president at wala siyang presidente. No? Pwede ho mangyari din yun. If, let's say, wala siyang mahanap na katandem. No? That's all possible at this stage in the game. No? As a matter of fact, ganun din po, no? Si former Senator BBM, hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin siyang partner, di ba? So it's also possible that he might run by himself. You know, this is politics. You know.
running.
Well, sir,
Pero-
let me go ahead, Ami.
Pero si Senator Bongo, out of the question, nakatandem ni...
No, I think there's still, as I mentioned earlier, they're still talking. That this is what was reported to me, ha. I have no way of confirming whether it's true or not, but I don't believe naman lolokohin ako nitong tao na to nagsabi sa akin. But they're still talking. But with regards to who's moving, who's running for this position, for that position, it's still up in the air.
Well, sir, the more cynical among us might call it one long extended striptease, one long extended political striptease, kung saan unti-unting tinatanggal, pampakiliti at pampagigil. Is that a fair, from your point of view, is that a fair assessment, or it's really all spontaneity?
Well, it's very hard kasi, we're so late in the game already. Diba? As I said, there's only 4 more days to go. There's so little time left to do what you need to do. So I really suspect there that they're working. They'll probably be working. I mean, I'm talking about Lakas, no? They're probably going to be working 24 hours from now until the 15th to try to fix this partnership between BBM and Mayor Sara. But it's very hard to say what's going to happen, no? At the end of the day, because anything is really possible. Now, with regards to the striptease, I mean, that's how it goes, diba? I mean, unfortunately, you cannot cheat. Neither one can make a formal announcement unless the other one has agreed on the terms of their engagement together. No? So we just have to really wait and see what's going to happen. No?
So consensual striptease. Okay, sir. Sorry. Let me ask naman about Davao City.
Masyadong masyadong sensual ang mga words mo. Okay.
Sir, let me ask you about Davao City itself. Okay,
Yes,
Sara announced that Baste Duterte is substituting in her place.
He already did.
Okay.
But
sir.
they already filed for mayor.
Yes, sir. But there are those who like to speculate na baka naman si Pangulong Duterte would prefer to jump in and ensure that the Dutertes maintain their hold over Davao City, kahit pa paano, the mayorship. What have you heard?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't
Wala nang walang categorical
Walang
ngayon
dagdag.
no. Laging I don't think.
So naman
Natuto na ako eh.
What about President Duterte for the Senate? Mas posible
I
yan.
don't think that's happening either.
Really?
Oh, really? Why not?
No, don't ask me anymore why. Not basta I think. I have a feeling it's
But that's what we do. We ask follow-up questions.
Retired
Ayun,
na.
nagtakot na tuloy ng bibig si Gabo.
I don't think that will happen. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Fine.
Wala na. Wala na, Pabol. We can squeeze some more.
O si
really
Manny
sorry about
Pacquiao.
the
What about
quick
Manny
answers.
Pacquiao?
Sometimes
If
that's
Manny
hard to
Pacquiao, kasi yesterday, sabi rin ni Albay Congressman Salceda, baka daw magka-surprise. Big surprise from Manny Pacquiao.
I believe, ma'am, from now until 15th of November, there's going to be a lot of surprises pa. I believe.
Sige.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that was Governor... Sige, Bok, go ahead.
President Duterte for VP.
Ano po?
Na naman,
for VP.
Si President Duterte for VP?
magsasubstitute kay Bongo, ganon.
I don't think so.
Okay. O tatlong I don't think so yun.
Wala na talaga.
Categorical O sige.
Okay, maraming salamat.
Buti nga, hindi kayo humingi ng percentage di ba? Mas mahirap yun.
Sige, yun pala, pwede pala.
Pwede rin.
Huwag kayo humingi ng percentage Okay na po yan.
Okay, maraming salamat. Governor Anthony De La Rosario, the Secretary General of Hugpong ng Pagbabago. Sir, maraming salamat for joining us tonight. Ingat
Thank
po.
you, Gov.
Thank you po. Good night po. Ingat
Good
po
night.
kayo.
Please stay with us. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Chiefs here on One News. And now joining us is Professor Julio Tihanki of the De La Salle University. Good evening, Professor Tihanki, and welcome back to the Chiefs.
Good evening,
Yes,
Ed,
sir.
Lucy, and Ami. It's
Of
good
course.
to be back.
Yes, sir. Good to have you back. Of course, Professor Tihanki specializes, among other things, in political parties, political party reforms, and political clans.
Today, we have witnessed the continuing political saga of Inday Sara. No? It started with a trip to Balesin and then ended with a wedding, no, in Cavite with all the political families at that. No, it reminded me of that scene in The Godfather, no, with all the families plotting their, their next.
I will make you an offer you
plan,
cannot
no?
refuse.
So you're right, no. So it's really life imitating art, no. So it's so Godfatherish, no. So it's also a sad indictment of how a few powerful political family can really control the future of this country, no? So in all of this, horse trading, negotiation, and whatnot, no, nasaan ang taong bayan sa lahat ng ito? No? So yun yung, di ba, yun yung kahinaan talaga ng political parties natin, no? Ang sistema ng politika natin sa bansa.
Pero sir, the politicians could also argue that everything they do, whether it's transferring political parties or shifting alliances and making alliances, it's all in response to calls by their constituents. I mean, they can always make that argument. And in fact, they always make that argument.
Diba sabi nga nila, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. No? Yung karamihan sa kanila, nadidinig ang mga boses ng taong bayan. At minsan, nadidinig ang boses ng Diyos. No? So doon ako natatakot pag nadidinig nila yung boses ng Diyos. So, diba? So politics being politics, no, it's the art of the possible, no? And they always have this justification for their political decision, no. But if you're going to look at it from a rational perspective, no, this is one case of what we call in political science as the prisoner's dilemma, no, in which different political players, no, would rather pursue their own personal political interests rather than cooperate with one another, no? So while the entry of Mayor Sara into the presidency, no, which was expected, since last year, no, she was the survey frontrunner, and yet she decided not to, and perhaps she was trying to borrow from the playbook of her father, or really she was, she was really tormented by that decision, no? But we all know there's also that internal political drama. But nonetheless, from a political perspective, no, what's happening here is that all of these political players, both from the administration and the non-administration players, each think that they will win, no? And the more players who bet on the pot, no, the bigger percentage that they will win, because of the smaller vote base that is necessary to win the election. So, in effect, ang nakikita natin dito, mga chiefs, no, ay parang repeat to nung 1992 election, in which you had 7 viable candidates, no, and then we ended up with a minority president, no, masyadong
very minor. Yeah.
Certain yung lamang ni President Ramos kay Miriam Defensor Santiago.
3% lang yata, no?
Yeah, or less,
at that
no? Or
time.
less, no? So,
And it takes so little to win, in a way, right?
Yes,
you
no?
just need 29% or so.
Correct, di ba? So in this case, no, the more the merrier, no? So baka naman kung mga strategies na ito, no, sa tingin natin tayong mga ordinaryong nanonood dito sa teledramang nangyayari ito, akala natin nagkakagulo sila. Pero may strategy sila dito, no? Siguro. Pero ang nakakapagtaka dito, di ba? Kasi ang pinaka-logical choice would be consolidation, di ba? So for the administration candidates, no, the best logical combination for them would be a Marcos Duterte or a Duterte Marcos. It would have been a very formidable, or it could be a formidable combination, because you have the Kingdom of the North and the Kingdom of the South. And they've already had this informal alliance in 2016, di ba? So informal yun, no? But now's the opportunity for them to formalize that alliance. And the same goes for the opposition, no? The anti-administration party. No? They all know for a fact that given their track record in 2016, And in 2019, it would be an uphill climb to go against this administration. No? So the best bet for them is to consolidate their vote. But of course, they all think
But the
that they can...
question is, what are
can all
the
do it,
chances at this point that they
Okay.
would consolidate? At this
As I've
point,
said, no, if BBM and Sara Duterte or Sara Duterte and BBM, if they join forces, then they're going to be the team to beat. No, that's the tandem to beat. Why? Because you have still Marcos and the Marcos billions. You have the incumbency advantage of the Dutertes, and then of course, it's the mood of the time. No? Unfortunately, sadly, there's this wave of authoritarian nostalgia for one reason or another. Some people, because of their frustration, because of their anger, because of the failure of the EDSA narrative, the EDSA political reformers to consolidate democracy and deliver us to the promised land. No? So may ganung kombinasyon. No? Kaya talagang medyo malakas. No? Malakas kung magsasama sila. No? Pero kung hindi sila magsama, mabibiyak yung boto nila. No? Kasi more or less, no, their base, no, and their political narrative are more or less the same. No? I call them, they constitute what I call the anti-EDSA coalition. No? They are those who have been marginalized by the EDSA regime, no? The EDSA narrative. And now it's their time. No? It's their time to get back power. No? So kung magkakasama sila, malakas sila. Kung magkakahiwalay sila, this will give an opening, no, for at least those in the top four, no, the other two candidates in the top four, which is actually Isko and Vice President Leni Robredo, no, and the rest perhaps siguro will still have a chance, no, like Senator Lacson, no, is the only candidate who's been whose ratings have been rising exponentially, no, from 2 to 4 to 5, no. So given some time, baka mamaya mag-double digit na rin yan. Pero again, given the fact na masyadong maraming kandidato, no, ito unahan lang sa as of last count, ilan ba ang registered voters natin?
64?
Diba,
61 lang yata, sir.
million, almost 63 million na, no? And if we average our voter turnout na 37, and most likely bababa yan because of still the pandemic.
Hindi naman lahat boboto.
Hindi lahat pupunta. No? So a candidate must capture only between 18 to 20 million votes. No? Raise to 20 million to. No? Ito yung parang political Squid Game. No? Matirang matibay kung sinong makauna sa 20 million. Di ba?
Professor,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Kung magkakahiwalay si Bongbong and Sara, sa tingin nyo, sinong kandidato yung against the administration or hindi administration candidate will benefit most from that?
Okay. Kasi alam naman natin po na tumakbo si Bongbong dahil hindi tumakbo si Sara. Tapos yung si Inday Sara, si Mayor Sara, since last year ay survey frontrunner. Now, based do sa mga internal surveys na nakita ko, yung mga tracking surveys, no, yung mga boto ni Inday Sara naglipatan halos lahat kay Bongbong, no? Kaya talagang tumaas yung boto ni Bongbong Marcos, no? Eh ngayon, natatakbo si Inday Sara sa pagkapangulo. Ano nang mangyayari doon sa mga boto? Yun. Most likely babalik yun kay Inday Sara, no? Kasi iba din yung base constituency ni Inday Sara. And of course, yung constituency, ito yung popularity ni Mayor Sara is also a residual of the popularity of President Duterte, no? So it's a reflected popularity, but nonetheless, it is enough because up to now, no, unlike other post-EDSA presidents na after midterms bumababa na yung kanilang popularity, itong Pangulong to, kahit papano, medyo mataas pa rin. Kahit unti-unti nang bumababa, dahil nga after midterms na and palanding na, tapos meron pang investigasyon ng Parmali. Pero hindi ganun katindi ng pagbagsak ng rating. So malakas pa rin, no, ang brand name ng Duterte.
Prof,
So you agree that Duterte Marcos would be a more potent combination than Marcos Duterte?
Hindi ko nabasa ang
Kasi
paper na ginawa.
yan yung
paper na
nasa
ginawa
memorandum analysis
Joey
memorandum
ni Congressman
ni
Salceda.
Congressman Joey.
Yes.
You know, si Congressman Joey Salceda, yan ang political barometer ko. No? Kung kanino ko mampiyan, sa tingin ko, medyo liyamado. No? So, yan ang political barometer ko, si Congressman Joey. Pero, hindi ko nga nabasa yung kanyang pag-aaral. So, sabi niya, mas malakas daw ang kombinasyong Sara Bongbong rather than Bongbong Sara, which was actually the original plan. Di ba? Yun naman ang pinag-iisipan nila noong pa. No? Nung bumisita si BBM sa Davao, no? Napag-usapan nila yun. In fact, I think during that time, BBM was open to the idea of running for Vice President. Kaso nga, natagalan ng desisyon. So nag-decide na si Senator BBM, ngayon, mahirap nang umatras. No?
Yes, sir. Pero Prof, of course, it does make political sense for Sara and Bongbong Marcos to tie up, team together, and run as a tandem. But nobody's ever accused politicians of being logical. I mean, this is the Philippines and this is politics. So let me ask you this. What are the chances that one of them, either Sara or Bongbong, will give up his or her dreams of becoming president in favor of the other? Diba? These are two headstrong people who appear to have a very firm eye on the presidency. Anong chance niya na may bibigay?
Right. Well, of course, from the perspective of politics, no, even economics, no, rationality is the pursuit of self-interest. No? So what they're doing is actually very rational. No? They're just pursuing their political survival and political self-interest. No? And that is the bottom line. No? If you're going to look at it from a hard clinical political science perspective, so talagang it's but natural that they're pursuing. Now, and that's the reason why we have scenarios like prisoner's dilemma. Alam nyo na naman na pag nagkampihan kayo, mas lamang kayo, pero hindi nyo ginagawa. No? So that is usually the tragedy of our politics. And it's not only here, it's all over the world. No? So I think, no, based on their own political calculus, it is still possible to carve the winning numbers, no, and to build a winning coalition if they do it alone. No? Perhaps it's a choice between continuity of this populist presidency, light, no, or a revival of authoritarian memories, no, the so-called golden age and the gold bars. No? So yun yung ino-offer nila. No? Doon naman sa non-administration, may dalawa ring naratibo tayong nakikita. No? One, no, it's not that VP Lenny, no, decided to run because just to stop BBM. No? If we're going to look at it, she has become the avatar of the EDSA narrative. Kasi wala na di ba? Sino pa magcha-champion ng principles ng EDSA revolution, no? Lalo na pag bumalik ang mga Marcos, no? So, no choice siya, no? So, she has become the avatar of the EDSA narrative. On the other hand, the other candidates like Mayor Isko Moreno and Senator Ping Lacson are saying it's time to look at the country, the future of the country, not within the narrative of the Marcoses and the no? But of course, it's not just the Marcos or Aquino personality. It's about, again, is it about going back to authoritarian nostalgia, no? Going back to the Marcos, so-called Marcos era? Or are we going to stick with the EDSA democracy despite all its flaws and weaknesses? No? So, yun yung...
Let me ask you at this point. Parang ang dating sa akin is it seems to be a choice of either EDSA or authoritarianism. Are you trying to say that if you're not in any one of those,
no,
you're most likely not going to, get your president of choice there?
No.
I mean,
no, ma'am, it's not that. No, it's part of a narrative. No, It's a political narrative. It's a historical narrative. And these candidates, whether they like it or not, they imbibe that narrative. No? And
Yeah, so I'll
for
ask you
example,
nga, if you're not, kunyari, you're Isko and you're Senator Ping Lacson or Manny Pacquiao na moving away from either one, ayaw na nila nun, meron na bang, marami na bang mga Pilipinong ganon na ayaw na nila ng authoritarian, ayaw rin nila ng EDSA, mas gusto na nila ng bago? How many are they? Are they a constituent that they should be running after? Diba?
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
question. Yeah.
yes, and this meron na, no? Meron na, no? So these are actually the voters, no? Who were disappointed at 30 years of EDSA and not bringing the promise of democracy, no? Not being able to consolidate democracy and bringing us. But no, these people are not. They're not against democracy per se. No? Survey after survey would show that Filipinos still believe in democracy, no matter what democracy means, no, to them, no. But rather, a lot of them are being frustrated because after EDSA there were a lot of hope, there are a lot of promises, no, that there will be social justice, there will be democracy will work for everyone, democracy will bring development, but none of this happened, no, so far, no. So a lot of them got frustrated and angered, especially at the tail end of the Aquino administration, and this allowed somebody like Rodrigo Duterte to capitalize on this frustration. And this is common, no, around the world. This is the same sentiment that has brought about Donald Trump in the United States, no. So yeah, that's the problem. No? It's the mood of the time, no. It's kasi kahit anong gawin natin, hindi pag tumakbo isang Marcos, syempre maalala mo ang martial law. Syempre. So pag may Marcos,
Substantial na ba yung ayaw ng either one? Substantial na ba yun?
Oo. Meron din, no? Meron din, no?
Marami
Kasi,
na ba?
hindi natin alam kung enough, no? Enough to veer away from this kind of narrative, no? The mere fact na malakas si BBM at as a result, pagtakbo ni BBM, nagkaroon din ng wave of pink supporters, yung mga dating yellow na naging pink, no? So it's parang diba? Parallel yung kanilang support. So sad to say, no, with the candidacy of Bongbong Marcos, it revived a lot of memories, both bad and good for those Marcos supporters, no? And of course, naturally, the other side of the political fence would react, no? Ngayon, in between, the challenge nga for those who do not subscribe to these two narratives is to create a niche, to triangulate. And I think that's the message of Mayor Isko, saying, hindi kami kasama dyan. Hindi kami kasama dyan sa...
That's just a niche, ang liit nun. Iba.
Professor, you think this middle ground is gaining traction? You're seeing all these developments. Kasi kayo, you are actually branding the one group as gangsters at saka yung kabila naman eh.
Hindi ko sinabi yun. Wala ko sinasabing gangster.
Godfather yung scenario na inaano ninyo. Yung kabila naman.
Sabi ko families.
Mobster.
Sabi ko families.
The mob.
Public frustration with the EDSA failings. So
Yeah.
the middle ground is gaining traction. Actually, the surveys for Isko are quite high.
Yeah, actually. So, yeah. So, hindi. Kaya ko sinabing niche, no? Kasi that niche can grow, no? It's something to work on, no? And it will be the challenge. That's why we have the campaign, no? So, I think what is important for all the political camps and their strategies is, to recalibrate, no? And recalculate and consider their options, no? So, I think between now and November 15, katulad nga nung sinabi ni Governor, no, marami sa kanila mapupuyat, no, and really will try to work out a winning coalition.
What about si President Duterte? Because we asked the governor as well. And he was categorical about three things. Sabi niya, President Duterte is not running for mayor of Davao as vice president? Or
Categorical ba siya?
you believe that? You believe that?
Yes. No choice eh. Ang nangyayari dito, naalala niyo si El Cid, di ba? Sinakay sa kabayo para... di ba? So,
Sir, hindi ko nabutan yun eh.
Si Presidente Duterte, parang ginagawa nilang political El Cid, di ba? Di ba? So, kasi nga, because of his residual popularity, hindi siya lame duck eh, no? So, may, yung ang taas ng political capital niya. So, lahat ng pwedeng pang shock and awe at di ba, paninindak, ay ginagamit, no? So, either tatakbo siyang vice-presidente, ngayon naman, tatakbo siyang, senador, no? Tapos, mamaya, babalik siyang Davao. But then again, sa kanya na rin nagsabi, no, na medyo may edad na siya, gusto niya magpahinga, no? Ang problema kasi dito, I think there are internal dramas within the House of Duterte, no? So the political interests and motivations of the daughter are different, no, from that of the father, and there are different political forces sponsoring and supporting the daughter, no? So yun yung yun yung nangyayari ngayon.
Sir, there was a phase in Philippine political history where when people seemed to frown upon political butterflying, palipat-lipat ng mga partido. Has that changed, do you think, or has it become acceptable already?
No, in the past kasi nung nationalista liberal, dalawa lang naman
Yes, sir.
papalipat-lipat, no, at it's far and in between, no. Hindi the only time na dumami ito noong 1961, noong panahon ni Diosdado Macapagal, no? Pero mas lalo siyang dumami nitong after EDSA.
Yes, sir.
Lalong-lalo na sa multi-party system natin. So, in fact, yan yung kahinaan ng sistema natin. Kasi yan yung napabayaan ng mga nakaraang administrasyon, no? Inuna nila yung reforma sa ekonomiya, pero hindi nila sinundan ng reforma sa politika at sa social reforms, no? So, yun, mahirap pa rin ang mga tao, patronage pa rin, clientelism pa rin. Ang partido natin, wala pa rin ideology, wala pa rin plataforma, puro personalities.
Yes, sir. But does it matter to voters, whether fortunately or unfortunately, does it matter to voters now what party you belong to and whether you have any party loyalties?
Political parties have become simple flags of convenience. No? In the Philippines, it's political clans and not political parties that's been the building block of electoral politics. Sad to say.
Okay. That was Professor Julay T. Hanky of De La Salle University. Prof, maraming salamat for joining us tonight. Always a pleasure to have you on board.
Thank you.
Salamat, sir.
Salamat.
Ingat, sir. That'll be all for this Thursday edition of The Chiefs. We hope what was discussed here will keep the conversation going. Now, before we go, reminder to our viewers, mask on, wash hands, stay safe, Philippines. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Ami Paminton of the Philippine Star.
And I'm Lucy Cruz Valdez of News 5, and we are One News.